So guys, here we are, MMA UK News, Stoomboy as always, MMA UK BJJ show. So talking about SGI10, SGI10 is going to be Saturday, May the 7th, going to be at the usual place, Maryhill Community Halls in Glasgow. Now, anybody that's ever been at Maryhill Community Halls, it's an absolutely awesome venue, a fantastic venue for grappling because obviously everybody is very, very close to the action. It's all tiered seats around the mats and so on. And yeah, just a great atmosphere. A Glasgow crowd absolutely love any kind of combat sports. As I say, we're that type of nation, same as Northern Ireland, same as Ireland. We're a fighting nation. We absolutely love fighting. So it's definitely a great venue for combat sports. Now, on this one, it's going to be a little bit special. As I keep saying, we're going to have pay-per-view at this one. So the last 9 events has been building up to this specific event, and here we are, SGI10 pay-per-view is going to be available. Now, pay-per-view details are on the Scottish Grappling page. Make sure you head over to that. Anybody that can't make the event, for anybody that is going to be there, get your tickets directly from Scottish Grappling, which will take you through to their booking system. I believe the fighters as well, if you are buying tickets, make sure you choose your chosen fighter because they do get money or they do get a commission from the tickets. So definitely make sure you're picking your fighter. So the event itself is going to be unbelievable. We've got some unbelievable matches that are going to be on show that night. Now, different martial arts styles as well. We're going to have some judo. We're going to have some wrestling, and obviously everybody's favourite sport, jiu-jitsu, is going to be a part of that as well. So my next guest is going to be on the show that night. So Stacey Sloan of Team Ryano Limavady. Now, Stacey is, again, Andy's been messaging me non-stop about obviously Eamon, about Stacey, and about Caitlin. And Andy's got high words, or really, really good words to say. And he's just saying, Stuart, wait until you see these three when they come over because these three are unbelievable to watch. So we're going to hear a little bit about some of the stuff Stacey's done. I just want to apologise to Jackie. First of all, so Jackie, I did get your message. Is this happening? So Jackie, we are here. Stacey did say you like to be on time, so apologies to you, Jackie. We're here now. So Stacey, listen, absolute pleasure. How you doing?
I'm good. It's a pleasure being on here. Sorry, Mum.
Yeah, Jackie, I like to talk. So apologies for that. So Stacey, how's everything going with you then? So obviously the last 2 years has been horrible for everybody, but now we're back. We seem to be 2022 is going to be hopefully a good year for everybody. So how's everything going with you in regards to training?
Yeah, everything's good. Training flat out with Andy and the crew and Limavady. Just trying to get myself back on track. Obviously, for some people that know, I've obviously taken a nearly over 2 year break now. Because of COVID, and just as things start slackening back up again, I was training, but I actually got my surgery for my knee, so that obviously kind of put a stop to a lot of my stuff. But yeah, well, the thing about me is I'm a bit of a lunatic. Andy would back me up on this one. I think it was 2.5 months post ACL reconstruction. I went to a seminar and it was on like leg locks. So yeah, I didn't set out for a couple of months. I literally, no matter what, I was still like strapped up and I was still doing jiu-jitsu. You know, most people think that's a bit lunatic, but sure, it is what it is.
But that's the one thing. I mean, obviously the time out, obviously going for knee surgery, having a little bit of time out would have helped as well. So it was probably COVID and so on and all that kind of stuff probably came about at the right time for yourself, certainly for that surgery.
It did. And do you know what? Like, some people ask me, like, how do I feel coming back after the break? And it's like, I feel far smarter and more technically wiser in my jiu-jitsu. Like, I think when you go for a period of training, you can get very much obsessed. And like, I used to beat myself up. Now, don't get me wrong, I still beat myself up. I am my worst critic. But I definitely, since I've come back, since my surgery, my whole game's had to change. So a lot of people are gonna be a bit shocked because like people who've fought me before have seen this like standard of grappling, but now like I've done a 360 of technique.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be good. Like still
Yeah.
like to smash, but but yeah, no, it's been
and
good.
and that's one thing. I mean, we always hear about people when they come out, and they always say, "We'll fight anybody." Now,
Mm,
we've all heard that. I don't know if I had to have a pound for every time I heard that coming out of someone's mouth, I would be a rich man. And you'd probably be the same, Stacey. If you had a pound for every time you heard it, you'd be a rich woman. So,
yeah.
but Stacey would literally fight anybody. Now, when when I was looking to pick a picture for obviously the show, because obviously we go on the Facebook, get a picture, and usually we find some funny pictures and we talk about it and stuff. But the one picture I seen with Stacey was she won a silver medal in the men's absolute in a competition, which was unbelievable. As I said, absolutely brilliant to go in and do that. So, how did that all happen, Stacey? How did that come about?
So, look, like female representations was pretty bleak in some competitions. And it was actually one of my sponsors at the time. It was a Trident grappling competition. And look, they knew that I was itching to fight. I'd won my division. I was, look, there's nobody, not one girl entered the absolute. And I just pleaded. I said, just let me fight. It doesn't matter. Like, just let me fight. I'm game. You know, I'll take responsibility. If I get hurt, it's fine. This is just a sport. And they were like, oh, all right, then they'll let me fight. And it was a hell of a match. I won in overtime. Managed to pass this guy's guard. Took a knee to the face. There's a video. It is quite funny. He kneed me in the face and everything. But it was a good scrap. But
Yeah.
yeah, and then obviously it was the final, and I think it was a big Polish guy, and the guy he was twice the size of me, and they were like, no, they wouldn't let me do it. And Joe, it's probably one of my biggest regrets that I didn't fight him in the final. It probably would have killed me, but
Yeah.
sure, here, you know,
Yeah.
could have died trying, like, you know what I mean? But you know, I have fought guys in like local competitions again because I'm a bigger female. Um, there isn't so many of the girls my size, so
Yeah.
I have fought some of the guys and come out quite successful. And like, I'll never turn a fight down. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We all thrive off each other, so whether you're male or female, I don't care. Like,
See, I love that. I love that because I'm a smaller person, and whenever I go into a fight, it's always anybody I go into a fight is always like 6 feet, whatever. And they're always about a foot taller than me. And then, and when I go in, I remember going in like the first few comps and people looking at the size difference and going, "Oh, that wee guy's going to get smashed." And then obviously I went in, and the good thing about smaller people, as you know, we've got a lower centre of gravity, and
yeah.
it's more difficult for a bigger person to take us down. So we just kind of wait our time, we bide our time, and then we counter to it. So that's what I absolutely love it. We're going in and be like, do you know what? I'll fight anybody, and being that person that will literally just fight anybody.
Mhm. No, I
So
love it. I just love the sport, and you know, it's like I train the guys all the time in the gym anyway. So what's the difference? Only this time I'm getting scored, or you know, it's sub only. So
yeah,
it's just another training session to me.
yeah, definitely. And then we've got a couple of things coming in. Obviously, your mum just saying thanks a lot or thanks for that. So thanking us for the apology. so, so again, apologies to Jackie. But and then we've got Aaron East. Aaron East, obviously one of the reporters at MMA UK News, just saying, what does it mean to you to be able to represent Team Ryano Limavady? He's saying one of the biggest BJJ events in the world. Maybe a bit too far on that, Aaron, but it's definitely one of the biggest in Scotland. So what does it mean to you to represent, obviously, Team Ryano?
It's a massive thing for me, to be honest. It's obviously this is going to be my comeback, and my first big representation of Andy's club. Andy's given so much to me, and the rest of the guys. So yeah, and the fact that Andy's managed to kind of like get this for me is even bigger. Like, you know, I've fought a lot, but I've never been able to get. I've never been invited on an invitational. I don't know why. It was because I fight men or something. I don't know what it is. But you know, so this here is it's a big thing for me, and I can't wait to bring back titles to my club.
Yeah, yeah. One thing that we're seeing a lot more of as well, which is absolutely brilliant. We saw it at Grapple Fest was we had 12 female grapplers on the show.
Yeah.
So there was 6 female matches on the show. Exactly the same on SGI. There's again, there's going to be 12 females on the show, so 6 female matches. And then we're going to have, I know Adrian and the guys at Grapple Kings are going to have a Grapple Queens in September, which is going to be again another historic event. I don't think there has been all female sub only invitationals, but they've been in America and so on. So I don't think there's been one like the UK or Ireland. So this is probably Grapple Queens is probably going to be the first one. Is that something that you would fancy seeing yourself on at such a historic
100%.
event?
I've already put I wanted to get on Grapple Kings, but we just kind of made a call that was a bit too early. We just wanted SDI to be the first match for me, because like it's quite special. Andy said it was just an amazing event, so we kind of agreed that SGI is going to be my first, and we've put my name forward for Grapple Queens already. So fingers crossed I get a match for that.
Definitely. I'd say it's going to be a historic event. Do you know what I mean? I'd say they're putting everything into the show, and I know there's going to be, obviously, you're talking like Rosa Walsh is going to be on it, and they're hopefully going to have a lot of, well, they are going to have a lot of unbelievable female talent from all over Ireland, Northern and Southern, as well as obviously in the UK and so on. So it's going to be a great event. I think that's in September as well. So
I think it's September.
Yeah, I'll need to make sure I get to this one. I had an absolute nightmare with Ryanair trying to go over to Grapple King.
I heard about that. Oh my god, I've been raging.
So, yeah, well, do you know what I was? But at the same time, I was thinking it's not the person I don't know what you call them, customer service behind the desk. It wasn't their fault. They're just telling me Ryanair's policy. So I was pissed, but then at the same time, I was like, do you know what? It happens, do you know what I mean? So I'll remember the next time it won't happen again. So I'll remember to phone the airline before I go. Or I should have listened to Andy Chapman, because Andy said to me, Stuart, do you know what? Fly over to Belfast and then I'll pick you up at the airport. Me and you'll drive down together. And I thought, no, I'll go to Dublin. I'll just fly to Dublin. And obviously he said, okay, I'll pick you up from there. And then sure enough, that happened. And the first thing I messaged Andy was, mate, I should have listened to you. So he's like, yes, you should have. So, but it was an awesome event. As even with me not being there, it was absolutely brilliant. And then Grapple Queens in September is going to be unbelievable. So we're definitely buzzing. It's going to be on Flow Grappling, and it's going to get so much exposure. So, which is brilliant for female grappling. So.
Yeah, it's going to be good to get like more highlights on female grappling, because it is very much overlooked. It is getting bigger. Like, there is another event I think happening in England, in Southampton, I think. There's a big female only show, which is great to see, and maybe that will inspire more girls to kind of get involved. Because I know for me, like, going to competitions, I'm scrimping at the barrel trying to get a fighter to fight somebody. And competition's not cheap. For girls, like, it is, you're paying the same price as the guys, but like you're probably getting less fights because there's just not really anybody there, which is a bit sad. But sure, for things like this here, when there's more given to females, it should maybe inspire a bit more growth, which would be great to see. So
we're seeing it in UK at the moment as well. We're getting there's a lot of kind of women only open mats, and women who fight. Marina Mavru and the team at Women Who Fight regularly put on open mats all over the UK, and the amount of females that turn up for it is unbelievable. And the same as like Carlson Gracie Hull, Julia Scardone puts on open mats as well. And here in Scotland, Arizona, Mercedes Brody puts on open mats as well. And the turnout is absolutely brilliant. And there seems to be a lot more females now have came into the sport than what there was pre-lockdown, which again is great, absolutely great. As I said, it was getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and now we're obviously we're at a big stage now, but it's going to get bigger. It's going to get better. And as you said, it's going to mean when you go to a competition, there's going to be another 10, 12, 14 females in your bracket. So,
Exactly, yeah. And that's what you want, like, you know.
Yeah. Definitely. And then what about you then, SGI10? So how did you find out then you were going to be on SGI10?
Oh, with the marvelous Andy Chapman. He is straight on it. Do you know what? After he fought in SGI himself, and obviously he had great success, beautiful submission he got. He kept going on about it, and then as soon as this one came up, he was like straight away, "Do you want a match? Do you want to?" Like, to me, Caitlin, Eamon, I was like, "Do you want a match? Do you want a match? Do you want a match?" And I was like, 100%, let me fight. Like, I want to go. He was like, 7th of May. He said, "You'll be ready." It's perfect timing for me, obviously through my rehab and stuff. So he was like, "This is going to be your comeback." So this is how SGI came up for me, and I obviously can't wait. Yeah, so he's buzzing about it, and obviously I can't wait to get over and make him proud, as well as the teammates. Like, big comeback.
We loved Andy when he came over. I say, absolutely beautiful submission. Obviously came over. He's came over fighting in the gi, and yeah, I mean, as soon as he came over, like, I'd known Andy. Like most people know Andy through Facebook, so I'd known him, and we'd been chatting back and forward for ages before I'd actually met him. And then once I met him, he was just as sound as he was on Facebook. So as I say, I'm glad obviously he managed to get a few of you guys on the show. So and as he's been banging on about you guys, he's been telling me about you guys for ever since the show was announced, because he knew I was going to be talking to you guys. And then he was like, yeah, wait until you see Stacey, wait until you see Eamon, wait until you see Caitlin. So he's been bigging you up quite big. So we're definitely looking forward to seeing you next month. Your mum as well, just coming in with some motherly advice there for me. Just saying, Stuart, next time get a P&O ferry. So if I'm travelling over, some motherly advice from Jackie there. So and then Aaron East just coming in saying, look, Scotland is the best in the world. So fair dues, Aaron. So and then what about you then this year? So we know we mentioned a couple of things. Obviously, Grapple Queens, hopefully coming up in September. SGI10, going to be one of your main focuses. But what would you like to see yourself doing for the rest of the year, Stacey?
I'm trying to think. For me, it's just to compete as much as possible. Trying to get on to more higher profile competitions. Get on the big cards. But for me, it's just to get back out competing again. So I'm hoping after SGI, I'm going to start doing a wee bit more traveling with abroad and stuff, do a couple IBGF competitions as well. I know there's one in Dublin, so I might try and hit that one. I'm not sure yet. I might just see how things go. But no, my biggest thing is just to start competing as much as possible. I was really active before COVID. Like, I was competing all the time. And then obviously it stopped. I think my last competition was actually the Worlds. And that was it. It just everything just went downhill from there. But no, for me, it's just get active again and get back at it. I think definitely the big one on the cards, and Andy will be listening to this one, is the Master Worlds. Because I'm 32. Yeah, I know I only look 19. But sure. No, I'm going to try and go for a world title in Las Vegas. So that would be definitely a big one as well.
Yeah. Las Vegas is good. I was out there in 2015. It was a bit bizarre for me because obviously when I'm in the UK and I'd kind of won everything. I think I went 7 competitions in a row, won gold at every one of them. So I went over with this, as a lot of people do when you win a lot of competitions. You get this big head or big ego, and you think, shit, I'm going to go over there and just kill everybody. And I remember coming up, and the first person I fought was a big, massive guy, Michael Whalen, who, again, another awesome guy, but he was a wrestler. And back in 2015, we weren't training wrestling. So when I went over, obviously I knew what wrestling was, but I had no idea how to fight a wrestler. I was used to fighting. Yeah, I was used to fighting judo, black belts, and do you know what I mean, obviously jiu-jitsu guys and so on. And then I goes over there, fights this wrestler. He took me down, and what did he do? He took me down. He got a knee on belly and beat me 4-0. And I was like, what? I was absolutely devastated, because as I said, it was my first defeat in my division, and I was thinking, and I was over in America, I was over in Vegas myself. And I was just absolutely devastated. But it kind of made me then look at wrestling. It made me look at other things. But it was an awesome event. It was really, really well put together. A lot of people. It was very noisy, because the Brazilians are there, Americans are there, and they just make so much noise. You can't even hear anybody. Even if somebody's in your corner shouting instructions, you can't hear them because the noise is just deafening in the place, which it's a great atmosphere.
Oh, it is. Like all them big events, like even the Europeans, like
Yeah,
it's just unreal. Like I still remember when I was at the Euros, I won the Euros at white belt. But like being in the bullpen, everyone just shouting, they're banging the sides of
yeah,
just like your adrenaline is just like pumping. Like I was just like, yes, this is it. Like, you're nervous and you feel sick, but at the same time, it's like, oh, this is literally class. I cannot wait to get on the
yeah,
mats. Like, I
yeah.
laugh because I get some slagging because I look like a murderer when I'm in the bullpen. I have my earphones on. I just look like I'm gonna kill dead things. I was like, oh no, I'm actually quite nice, but like, no, when I'm in the bullpen, I look like I'm gonna kill people.
Yeah. What I do as well is when I go in, and because of obviously there's a very big height difference between me and anybody I've ever fought, and so what I do is I always try and wind my opponent up, and I do it really well sometimes not so well, but I usually whenever I'm fighting, I usually look for the people in my division on Facebook, and then I start messaging them, telling them that I'm coming. I'm going to be there. Are you ready? And things like that. And it happened all the time. And then I remember going over to the Euros, and the person that I came up against was the ranked number one in the world. He was the best. Juan, I think his name is Juan Santos, but he was the best guy in the world. And I remember being in the bullpen, and I was standing kind of maybe feet away from him, and I'm looking at him, I'm kind of nodding like, "Are you ready? You ready?" Um, and the guy was he was focused. He was like not even with me at all. We gets over to the mat, and I always say that if anybody, or I was always told from one of my coaches, a Brazilian guy, saying, Stuart, if you ever come up against anybody and before they step onto the mat, they go on their knees and they pray to Jesus, then you're in trouble. And this is what this guy did. He was on his knees. Four grappling was around taking pictures of the guy and recording him and stuff like that. And yeah, he came in and kicked my ass. And then I realised after it, he didn't even speak English. So he had no idea what I was saying when I was in the bullpen. So then it backfires. But I do it because it's entertaining. It gives me being a smaller person, it gives me an advantage because they think, who's this crazy fucking little Scottish guy? So
who's that guy eyeballing me across them?
yeah. So, but it's entertaining. I enjoy it. That's why we do it. I mean, we do it because we love the sport. We absolutely love it. So, and then final thing for you then, Stacey. So obviously you've been in the game for a little while. So anybody you want to shout out to? So obviously friends, family members, teammates, things like that.
Well, I have to give obviously a special shout out to Andy. His head's probably gonna go for now. Honestly, I'd be lost without him. He's helped me so much and kind of got me back into the game. Obviously, I can't thank them all, but like Chris Davies, Caitlin, Eamon, all of them from the club, because without them, I have no rolling partners. I have to thank my mum and dad. They've always been supportive, and obviously my partner Neil, he has to deal with me coming home complaining about injuries and I'm hungry and so he would prep my food and stuff and deal with me coming home with black eyes. So yeah, I thank all them and just anybody who's supported me over the years with jiu-jitsu. And yeah, I'm back. I can't wait to get back fighting again. So yeah.
Nice one. So guys, there we go. Stacey Sloan, Team Ryano Limavady is going to be in Glasgow, Maryhill Community Hall, Saturday the 7th of May. This is a comeback fight. It's been a couple of years, so we're definitely going to get to see Stacey back next month. Tickets, make sure you head over to Scottish Grappling, get your tickets directly from them. If you cannot make the event that night, now I know some people aren't going to be able to be there, but you will be able to watch it on pay-per-view. So again, head over to Scottish Grappling. You'll be able to get the pay-per-view details on there. So Stacey, listen, I'm buzzing to see you coming over.
Oh, I can't wait. I would just wish it would hurry up now. Just want to get the gi on and just fight.
Yeah, well, listen, a few weeks away. It's going to be great. I said, Andy's going to keep giving me updates on you guys. I'm pretty sure between now and then. So, but yeah, listen, we're definitely looking forward to seeing you guys coming over and definitely putting on a show for us. Right. So, Stacey, thank you again. Enjoy the rest of your night and enjoy the rest of your training.
Oh, thank you. See you later.
All right. Take care then. Bye-bye.